Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. I am back in my studio. I am at my desk and had an amazing trip. I shared the one video over there, and I have not sat down and filmed here since then. I did do last week in advance because I knew we would be super tired. We got in on a Friday and we all fell asleep at 6:30 p.m. and we slept like 10, 11 hours, and we were waking up at 5 a.m. for quite a while. I didn't mind that so much. It allowed for some quiet mornings, and also throughout the week, I am getting up a little later each day, so more towards 6:30 now, which is our normal time, and I used to struggle to get up at that time, so I'm just kind of hoping that sticks around a little bit. But yeah, by like 10:30, I'm like crawling into bed because I am so tired. So yeah, I kind of want to keep that up. And so far, that's kind of working. I picked up these stickers while we were staying over in Haarlem in the Netherlands, and which is about a 25 minute train ride from Amsterdam west and out west. We absolutely love it there. That's where we're trying to settle down. It may be kind of around that area. We'll see. We don't have a place yet, so that's what we'll be working on in the next few months. We are aiming at leaving here the end of June, early July, somewhere around in that area. Yeah, anyway, so there was a bookshop there called Catnap Books. It was really cute. And these stickers were in there along with these WASHIs. I don't think I shared these because I hadn't been there yet by the time I filmed. These are some that are Holland themed. And you can look up, you don't call the Netherlands Holland, although there's like a North Holland area there, but the country as a whole is the Netherlands. And this one was more of like a book one. Let's see. I don't know if I'm going to use these this time, but I was using them in my travel notebook. So these might come back. I don't think I'll use them here. But I got these three. These are from an artist in Germany, and she stocked these there. It is down here where it says Space Bird Craft. I searched for that, and I'm assuming this might be Instagram. I didn't quite look her up on Instagram, but I know if you search Space Bird Craft, her Etsy shop came up right away and is selling these stickers on there. They're so vibrant. I also wanted to like film in natural light because I'm just I want some spring light right now. It really is pretty nice. And yeah, these are just so vibrant. These are moths, but they're titled Butterfly Effect. This feels a little bit more summery, and this is like the Hello Spring I'm going to use today. The other ones on her site here, I'll link it down below. She has quite a few things. She has some scarves, some stickers. There's like a self-care sticker that I would love to get. I'm just looking at more of these and they look so cool. They're on sale right now, 20% off. So I might order some even before we move there. They're amazing. I tried to keep these as dry as possible because they look like if they get a drop of water on them, they would get ruined. They're very matte, very like paper top here. So, yeah, I thought I'd use these for Hello Spring. We did start spring on, I believe, the 21st or the 20th. Oh, the 20th. So on Thursday there, that was spring. I was like, I knew it was coming. I had it on a different calendar. I didn't put it in here though. So that's kind of what happened there. We are, yeah, I haven't even gotten into my little bag of goodies here. well, my work bag, my like stuff that I use for filming for several weeks now. So I'm just getting back into it. Oh, there's a pen in here I might use. I'm discovering things in here already. I mainly just wanted my tweezers here. And then I also picked out, these are a very light yellow and blue to kind of go along with some of these colors here. It's a 451 and a 991. Pretty light. They're not going to be super heavy. And then I was going to use my typical other supporting stickers here. I definitely am going to use those for the day of the week headers. Yeah, just deep breath. I am returning to this space and I missed it. It was hard to make a video over there. You could see my tripod in the last video, but that was the best I could do. Like, otherwise you would have seen much more of my tripod, like all the legs and things, if I had tried to go straight down. And plus I kind of wanted to show you the weather outside. So I still am like remembering those days so fondly because it was almost 60 to 65 every day we were there, except for the last couple days. And I packed a raincoat. I was ready for rain. The other thing I want to start off with as well, let me double check this info while I'm here, is that this is the Twines and Paper. Yeah. The Twines and Paper hybrid. And there's been a lot this last 6 months about that store. And I'm not going to hide anything. I was giving her the benefit of the doubt at the beginning, but many were chiming in saying, look, she's done this before. The site is currently closed, and I'm very glad about that as well. Shopify, her domain pointed there, is shut down. So it's kind of sad because I know a lot of people enjoy this planner, and I am very much enjoying. I do hear a lot of voices going over to Paper Tests and to Sterling Ink asking if they can do something similar. Paper Test does have the managers, the A5 Manager Slim, that is kind of similar to this. So I have it here. I'm using it for business. But it does have, I'll show the back here. It does have the vertical, and then right behind each of those, you could make a horizontal or just make a bunch of lists here. And just knowing like the vertical comes first in this one, but it's very similar, and you have like a little bit more room on this side to use if you want. I would not be surprised. Like Sterling Ink, her files are not far off from creating something like this. It wouldn't be hard for her to do this. Are there copyrights and things? The owner of this one did say she was putting in a copyright. It's in different countries. So it's hard to say because, like, is the vertical copyrighted by Hobonichi? No. Or horizontally, like, so I'm sure people are looking into it, but you cannot get it anymore. And a lot of people are out their money on it. I would file with either PayPal or Shopify to get your money back, because it doesn't look like it's coming. I believe the last I heard, the owner was moving to Canada. I don't know. She was in Germany. So, I can't, I don't know what went on with her. I never talked with her at all. I was always relaying some images of conversations in my posts, and that's all I could share. Like, and I don't think, even if she came out with it next year, I don't think I could support it. I am finding that the vertical is more necessary for me. So I would probably go back to a vertical and then use back pages in a sterling ink. I actually have a sterling ink this year that I may redate for next year because I'll be overseas and I might just use that one and just redate it. So, because I couldn't come up with a use for it this year. It's sitting there, but we're at the end of March almost here. In fact, it's the 24th through the 30th. There's only one more day, a Monday after this, and we are in April. So I will be doing my April setup very soon. And I feel like I just did the March one, but I did want to give a little update on this. All I could do was, this is my main planner. This is what I do videos from. I do apologize if it was like I was trying to promote this planner. It wasn't my intention. I was promoting it when it first came out. I will say that because I didn't quite hear all the rumblings and how bad it had gotten. So this was like July of last year. I will take ownership that I was promoting it then. When things started going south though, I got both of my orders. I do think a lot of people got them, but I think there's a big group of people who did not at all. And then she shut down. So that's not fair to anybody. So yeah, I cannot in good conscience, promote the company anymore. I think I'll take the name out of my title. Yeah, I was thinking about doing that anyway, so I'm going to focus on the vertical. The vertical is very similar to the Sterling ink. I would highly, highly say that one or Paper Test. Those are very, very amazing companies, and have always tended to their customer support just amazingly well. So, I have no qualms in saying, yeah, check them out. And if you want to kind of have something similar, this is very, very, again, very similar to the Sterling ink vertical. And I know she wasn't making an A5 horizontal, and I think now she is. She has such a big lineup now, but I know Paper Test does this. I don't think she does the boxes there, but very similar. I think maybe they're over here. Anyway, they're kind of like those two crunched together. And so I am finding I probably would just go back to a vertical, as I said. So that is where all of that stands. I am really sorry for everyone who I think ordered November, December, January, February. At that point, a lot of things weren't going out, and that's when things started not doing well. So I'm going to do a yellow on the top here just because I want some kind of sun. It's a little darker than I thought it'd be, but it is a beautiful color. My brain just didn't remember how dark it was until I just started it on this. So we're going to do this. Kind of like that nice golden sky. And then I'm thinking about some blue at the very bottom. As I said, I don't think I'm doing the washi. Am I? No, it's a little too... Here, I'll unroll it. It is springtime. It is springtime there. Let's see. I'm just looking at it on the camera. It would be kind of cute. It does match, and it has the yellows in it. Why not? Why not? Yeah, it has the stroopwafels here. We'll start with those. We actually were meaning to get some in person, and we ran out of time the day we were in Amsterdam. There's a lot of places that do them in Amsterdam that will make them right in front of you, or they do have some of the really fancy ones. with like a bunch of different toppings on them. And you can get a pack of stroopwafels like at the Cost Plus World Market. I did for Christmas for my mom this year because we kind of knew at that point that we would be going. And although we hadn't bought the tickets yet, not at that point. I'm going to put the Holland here right in the middle. And so we will have to go back and get the fresh ones. Maybe I'll have to share a picture of that. But yeah, we saw a windmill. There's one in town in Harlem there. And the side streets where you just are walking past and all of a sudden you just stop and you look down the alley and there's like just the cutest cobblestone with bikes parked, and it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. Actually, I really like that this is on the bottom. It definitely, spring going into April here is a beautiful time there. We actually here in Washington have our own tulip festival, and like all the daffodils are out right now, and the tulips are about to pop, or they're getting closer. I wouldn't say they're about to. And let's see, what do I want to put here? Let's get another set here. So I think I want to go, I kind of want to do it between, well, no. Let's see. Anyway, trying to think what else. We did have bitterball and bitterballe. A lot of times it's spelled with an N on the end, but you don't say the N, so that's what I'm learning. Let's see, do I want to cut it there? I think so. I think I want to cut it there because it's kind of like right at the end. We did have some amazing cheese, and I was able to have the cheese. I haven't been able to have it for so long. This was actually also celebrating, you know, how far my health has come in the last couple years, few years, longer. I was diagnosed with Crohn's in August of 22 and have been on meds starting since then. And there we go. So Lecker here is, let me make sure I'm saying it exactly. Because, oops, I had that correct. Where did it go? There we go. Okay. Tasty. So lecker means tasty. I was translating it as delicious. It can be similar to that, but tasty is what Google Translate is saying. I am slowly learning. My husband's doing great, and soon we're going to get my son involved with it, but just he's had a lot to catch up on. Okay, let me do some more yellow here. And what else did we do? Yeah, we walked all around the canals with my cousin in Amsterdam. His place was amazing. He's been working really hard over there for quite a while, and has like the most idyllic like place right on a gorgeous canal. So we just walked all around, and beautiful day, beautiful day. I might do a little bit of a photo dump because I might just share a couple. This is what I'm looking for, and These are what I'm looking for. There we go. Put these up here out of the way. So, and we were gone during the time change, so the hour time change didn't really matter much at all to us because we were so just trying to adjust back to this time zone. Let's see, actually, I think I want to do blue. No, I think I want to do yellow. So let's see if I can have a steady hand here. Perfect. Perfect as it will be, right? Oop. There. But yeah, what I found interesting was like when we were back, when we were there and we were back, I was waking up, like falling asleep at 10, waking up at 5, like no matter where I was. And I didn't mind that. I really, I could never have done it. Never say never. It would have been very hard to do on my own here. But I think if you like gently alter your schedule, you could. Should you? I mean, I never had the reason to wake up that early. The fact that my body's just doing it, I'm just going along with it. So, but it can be very hard. I've always been an evening person, always. And so it's been something that I've just accepted. Like that's my chronotype. My brain becomes active in the evening when I feel the sun going down, and now it will be a little different now that it's lighter later. So just kind of accepting that. I was fine. I would try to wake up early. I felt horrible the whole day. Can you gently change that? Maybe. But it took like changing big time zones for my body to do that anyway. And I'm just kind of accepting where it's at and what it's doing. And I guess the other big part, let's see, that might be a little low. Oh well. Is just, I would reach the end of the day and just be so tired that I would just kind of let all the little things go. Like I have not had trouble sleeping, and I know I'm in a minority there. It's just, all done with this one. I would say before going, it would have been a little hard, but I am keeping up some additional habits of movement. So that's tiring me out. Like we were walking all over the place. Let's see. I think I want little drops, little green drops. Because they kind of remind me of petals, and I already have the blue and the yellow here. So, let's see. Yeah, I've been overseas once, and again, I haven't traveled a whole lot, but we went to the UK for 2 weeks, my mom and I, and we went all over the place there. And it felt very different. It was 10 years ago. I was a different person then. And excuse me. And it felt kind of like I always felt kind of separate there. But I also, we researched enough to be tourists there, but this time around we researched enough to be like, what would it be like to live there? And again, we were still kind of borderline with that. Let's see. I really like this daffodil one with the kitty. I think I'm going to put that here. These stickers are very bright white. If you can tell, like this is an off-white page and a very white sticker, but I love it. I love that a lot. And so it was kind of like we were trying to get used to things there and how they would feel. Planting some seeds, some flower seeds there. And then I think I want to use this one that says spring on it down here. They're big and colorful. And so and with this down here, I feel like you don't need a whole lot. And then the little stickers here, let's put these down. Oh, actually, let me draw my lines first. I'll draw them in blue. Let's draw them in blue. It'll be a full week this week for the school schedule. My son has been making up work, but he's been staying on everything. We took some work with us, so he was working on things over there. And I'm glad we did. And ironically, his English class is reading Animal Farm. You know, very, very pertinent. And they're going into some deep analyzation of it, so kind of glad. What else? I'm just trying to think what else. What my cousin said is once, you know, you move or even after your trip, you'll get that kind of Walmart effect is what he called it, which is you'll go into a normal store and you'll be like, what? You know, kind of like trying to orient yourself to a different, like being back home again. And I didn't have that too much because I wasn't going to the store that much. But we went shopping in person yesterday because I was like, I do a lot of shopping online because it does help my energy, like putting an order together and then picking it up. I am participating in some boycotts right now. That was the thing. I do have a great resource that was a Google Calendar of a lot. I wouldn't say it's 100%, but it is a lot of the boycotts going on right now that I'm going to link below. That just having that on my calendar and the people updating it are amazing. I'll also include their Instagram account. I was like, this is what I need. It's such a simple tool to put together a calendar, a Google Calendar, but it is so helpful. So helpful. So, and just hoping it stays up because it's useful. But yeah, I'll share that below because I thought that was really good. What was I saying? Oh, the Walmart effect. So I went in and it was not Walmart, but I went in looking for something that we had seen over there, that we had over there. And and their breads are just different and cheaper. So we were trying to find breads that were similar to over there. They're just more chewy and probably more gluten in there. And yeah, and the foods, like a lot of the foods don't have a lot of preservatives. People shop at the markets a lot. And so, yeah, you shop definitely way more frequently. I mean, that's kind of a European way of doing things over there because they have access to things. Yeah, it feels like a dream sometimes. And I'm just hoping everything between now and when we move goes smoothly. There is, a whole lot going on here, and we just got to get through it. But also know that if something just really bad happens, that we are able, I feel during the pandemic, it was easier for me being an introvert, being stuck in a home and quarantining and wearing a mask everywhere. I still wear a mask everywhere. Though we were actually amazed that we came home and none of us got sick, but we were wearing masks for everything. And just to get through that time was actually on the easier side for us. We know a lot of people, especially if you are like, your energy is not recycled, but energy is like built up by connecting with other people, especially having another body or another living thing within your vicinity, whether it's a pet or whether it's a person, just having that support. But if you thrive more with groups of people and it's easier for you to get work done, that kind of thing. I totally understand how that was hard for you. And this time, could there be another quarantine for something? Possibly. That's kind of on my radar. That would throw a wrench in all of our plans that were, like if they say we can't travel outside the US. But I think that would be the main thing. But could we stay and tough things out? Of course. Like that's what most of the people are doing here. And we know that that's a possibility and that's what we'll do if we have to. Like, we're here to fight. We are here, even from afar, we can still do those types of things. We can still help organize. We can still help share resources. We still have very solid values in what we're trying to fight for. It's amazing to see groups of people coming together right now. And we just know, like I've said a bunch of times already, we just know for our family, for my healthcare, for my son's schooling, for my husband to stay safe. It's all of that that's why we're looking there. And we also feel really, really lucky that the place that we honed in on and the place that we visited are like a big, deep yes for all of us. And that was like, my son may be there for a while and he may decide to go to another country for further schooling, and that'll be up to him. But I think and it's going to be hard when we go there. It's just, there's going to be things, there's going to be homesickness, as someone, pointed out. That's on my radar, but it wasn't as big on my radar. And then it more deeply settled in. Like, we weren't there nearly long enough to really feel that. I was just missing my pillow because I couldn't pack my pillow. And a couple other things that it just was like, I just needed some physical things and I just didn't have them with me. It's going to sink in deeper when we're away from family even longer. And that's, I know that's coming. And so, and that's one of the sacrifices we're making. So it's in learning everything over there and knowing there's going to be a bunch of missteps over there too. And figuring things out. And, I don't know. It's still going to be a lot. It's still going to be this. I did feel like parts of my brain were reawakening on just being kind of in that like child mentality of like, how do I learn all these new things about the world around me? And being open to that, and knowing that we were really lucky because there were so many people who spoke English there. Like it really, like if you needed help, you can ask somebody. But it very, we need to very much respect the culture there and learn the language and learn customs. But a lot of them, like, we were like, oh, that's the custom here. That makes so much more sense to us. But again, I still feel guilty for talking about these things. It's really hard because I know how hard it is and will become. I don't know how hard it will become, but just I know it is hard and it's going to get harder. And it's really hard to say. It's like, how do you be happy during really tough times? And the number one thing I can say is your joy is not something people should take away from you. Your joy is yours. The joy may be hard to seek out, but the joy of flowers blooming right now and the sun coming out more and seeing beautiful areas of our land here, even if the parks are closed, like still seeing the beauty that's around us, seeing the beauty in the people who are there to help and support. They can't take that away. They can't. And that is something that there's a lot of grief around us as well. People thought one thing and something else is happening, and that can be very hard to comprehend. And giving some people, if they aren't in the sense of like they could hurt you, in the sense of even just mentally, give them the space to see a different point of view, or saying, look, I don't have the energies to support your learning. You go do your learning. It's really hard. It's hard to balance how much support you can give to others. And I'm about to record another video about that because it kind of comes back to one of the core videos I've made about not having goals, but having strategies. And I think I want to do a follow-up on that because what it really is about something else. Not something else. It's just like that's the result. But I want to go into, well, why? What is it that you're actually forming? So that'll come out after this video. So I wanted to do this one first. I am going to put these in my other notebooks, my other planners. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I need to put here. I felt like I breezed through this. I forward both of these depending on how the last week went. I fill these out. I put some things here. Oh, I could put some appointments here. So I was going to see the chiropractor on Monday, but my back has gotten better. While the bed was pretty comfortable over there, it still allowed my back to, to kind of curve like that while I was sleeping. It didn't have pressure points, which I was really nice because, I'm in my mid-40s and sometimes when you lay on your hip, it can hurt. It didn't have that, so I was really fortunate with that. But I do have a back issue where a rib likes to pop out of place. And so it can be very hard for me to carry things and to breathe sometimes. So, but I do have this little tool called a thumb beat, and if I lay on that, it kind of pushes it back in. It's going to be something like a chiropractor does. I've seen a chiropractor for a long time about it. He was able to put it back in many, many, many times, but it doesn't keep it from popping it back out. So I am going to see my doctor in April about that to see if there's anything. I've done physical therapy. I've done things. I think what it is, I think it may be a surgery thing where what happened was it happened while I was giving birth to my son. It just kind of popped out like this. Like the rib was like this and it just kind of pops out. So I've done a lot of strength training around it, but I think it's just too weak around here to keep it in there. I don't know if it's the cartilage or the muscles, or if there's a little tear there. I don't know, but I do want to see what's going on, so at least I can kind of make a decision on whether I want to do anything before going, or if I just take that information with me. And that's kind of like, in terms of everything that I'm, trying to support body-wise, like my Crohn's medication is there. It'll be Remicade. I'll go on the name brand because I don't think they have the generic over there. I'm on generic, so it's basically the same thing. So I'll just get started with those, timing wise, and then trying to focus on my back. There's been a lot of other issues I've taken care of here, and I just feel really fortunate that so much is behind me. I actually had, and this will be the last thing and then I'll wrap it up here, is I was looking ahead into June because we were looking at when should we leave. On June 27th, that's July, but June 27th popped up and there was a little reminder here. And I was like, what is this? And it said, gynecological, go get my pap smear. And I'm like, wait, how old was that? When did I put that on? That was just 3 years ago. And everything was absolutely fine in my last one. And now, 3 years later, I have been, let's see. Why do I feel like it'll be 2 years? Won't it? 25, 23? I guess it was, I feel like I'm missing a whole year all of a sudden, just sitting here. That's what I was trying to rack my brain because it was 23. So 22, June 27th, had a normal pap smear. And I just was like, okay, in 3 years, I'll come back because that's what she was recommending. And 8 months after that is when I went to the ER. And then within a year, I had a hysterectomy. It was on the 14th of 23. And so, I had made it a whole year this last June. And this will be 2 years here. It's just kind of wild to me because I had a lot of surgeries in between. It's just, I'm trying to wrap my brain around it as well as, so looking back at the past medically and then looking forward medically. And the years are just blurring together and our plans seem very acute and very within 3 months here. And so it's hard to operate backed off with a telescope, yet we are zoomed in with a microscope right now. That's what I feel is going on. And so it's hard, but it's really important to look back at your past to see how far you've come. It really is, because you can look at a lot of things and not realize how far you've come. And I know Elise Meyer was talking about, her stuff is a little asynchronous because sometimes she puts out a lot of older stuff and a lot of newer stuff, but she was talking about when she was going through some depressive years of depression, she was mapping out on a wall of all these things that she had happened in her life, not just accomplishments, because I think that can be misleading, but just everything that's happened, that you've made it through, that you've succeeded at, made mistakes about, anything that was really poignant. And just to kind of have that huge view, I was tempted to do that myself. So anyway, lots of rambling. I just had to get some of that out. And I think I want to share some more pictures of our trip because just it felt very much like spring over there when there was a lot of rain going on here in Seattle. And so it kind of had this feeling. And I just kind of want to share some of that with you guys. So I will end it here. Thank you for hanging in there. If you, for those who have stuck it out to the end, I don't know, put a cool little emoji in your comment. Maybe a piece of bread or something, or a cow, or, you know, if you want to. But I would love to hear from you. What does spring mean to you? Are there some exciting things that, can you kind of feel, I feel like February weather was going to stick around for so long because it just suited what's been going on lately. But spring here has me a bit distracted and focused on future things. So yeah, let me know if you enjoyed this. Consider hitting the like button, tapping it, whatever it does to make the thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you want to see more of this. And take care, everyone, and I will see you next time. Bye.